Today's topic is humility and why it's an essential and imperative part of being a healer, no matter if you're offering a paid service or just doing it for yourself and your loved ones. Humility yields clarity, inner peace, and a life filled with miracles. You will also learn a mantra helping you to authentically become present in your unique blend of strength and genuine vulnerability. Hi, it's Monika, your intuitive trauma transformation coach, who helps you face and successfully navigate through the storms of life, guiding you through a most powerful self-healing process and teaching you all the mindfulness tools you need to embark on your journey to your core self and create the life you've always envisioned. Whenever I teach one of my workshops, I talk about humility and staying a humble student. As we are human, we all have our slips, and even a teacher like Wayne Dwyer often admitted in his talks how he caught himself acting opposite to what he wrote in his books. The emphasis here lies on catching oneself, which is nothing but consistent and constant self-awareness of what we speak, think, feel, believe, and how we act. When my students enroll in a Reiki Master workshop, I also talk about taking the posture of humility, acknowledging the divine within every one of us, and although owning a master title on a paper, admitting to just being a student, committing to learn and grow for the rest of their lives. The posture of the perpetual student comes naturally when we learn how to attune our future students to the art of Reiki. I remember learning humility in a kind of cruel way. After learning Reiki, I was amazed about what I was able to do. There was a cat with a bad cold on the verge of getting blind who recovered after me holding her for an hour every day for a couple of weeks. Although my master repeatedly had told me that I just was the vessel for the energy, I started to own healings, as if I was a doctor who could fix things. I started doing Reiki for another cat who was very sick, and the owner didn't care because one cat more or less doesn't mean anything for a farmer. The cat recovered fully, and I became so freaking arrogant as to tell everyone at the farm that I had performed this miracle with Reiki. I sat down at the riding arena to watch people working their horses, and then it happened. The cat was run over by a horse and killed. This was a wake-up call. I heard a voice inside of me saying, "Who are you there playing God? You who don't know anything." I prayed and asked for forgiveness, and I promised to pay more attention, to get my freaking ego out of the way when doing energy work. 1 week later, I came to a riding stable to visit an acquaintance. She was a riding teacher, just giving a kids lesson, and I was looking for her dog Fritzy because I thought I could spend the time waiting for her playing with this cute little guy. I asked her where he was, and she said to me, He was lying in the grass, pointing towards a tree. She said he wasn't doing very well. I sat down and intuitively felt that he was poisoned and needed medical attention very quickly. My acquaintance didn't want to hear about it because she was very, very busy. So I started to give Reiki. This time I surrendered myself to the divine. Whatever the outcome would be, I just gave all the love I had. After 5 minutes, I was able to finally convince my acquaintance to leave with the dog. And I promised that I would help the kids with unsettling and putting the horses away and cleaning up after it and so on. In the evening, about 8:30-ish p.m., I sent Reiki again, as I had learned that the vet only gave Fritz's recovery a 10% chance or even less. The next morning I was informed he had opened his eyes and wagged his tail at 9 p.m. again. This time I didn't even mention Reiki. And I just celebrated my happiness. You might say, but this time she's even bragging in front of the camera. No, it's not about bragging. I'm not. It's not what I'm doing. However, shouldn't I honor an ancient healing art for boosting the inner healer that exists in all living beings? So humility simply is the act of being humble. Albert Einstein once commented, "A true genius admits that he or she knows nothing." And Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote, "A great man is always willing to be little." Rather than calling attention to oneself, humble healers readily acknowledge the contributions and greatness of others. They look at their weaknesses and work on their areas of personal improvement. They demonstrate commitment, ethics, and authenticity in everything they do. Like I mentioned above, it's this unique blend of strength and genuine vulnerability that makes for humility and leadership as a healer and teacher. A Reiki master must have both the courage to take the people to a daring destination and the humility to selflessly serve others on the journey. Before we come to the little exercise, please subscribe, share this video with your friends, give me a thumbs up and let me know what you experienced. Let us do a mantra to bring us to the present, from the darkness to the light. A mantra celebrating the greatness of the divine and reminding us to be its servant. Let's assume prayer position. Inhale deeply and while exhaling, join me in saying, Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. And again, inhale deeply. Guru Guru Vahe Guru Guru Ramdas And a third time. Guru, Guru, Vahe Guru, Guru Ramdas Guru. Peace begins with me. Namaste, Namaste.